Just right around the corner. We have a few fight announcements to talk about. But boy, oh boy, is this fight night going to disappoint the fans. First off, we'll start with Bo Nickel. What a fucking disgrace. Bo Nickel's fighting an absolute bum. An absolute bum. Where is his test? You know what I mean? Cody Brundage is not going to give him any test. He's a good fighter and stuff, but he's got no fucking threat to Bo Nickel. I personally wanted to see Vettori, and I actually thought there was a good chance of him doing that. But no, they give him some bub. I will not accept anything apart from Bo Nickel being the very first fight in the early prelims when no one's in the fucking arena. That's the only way I'm accepting this fight. If this is on the prelims, it's like 2 or 3 fights in, that's a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. I wanted to see him get someone ranked. I don't know how much longer they're going to feed him bums. Because the hype's not going to build anymore off beating bums. You need to give him good opponents now where the names will actually add up and fans can get behind the win. But that's what I think about the Bo Nickel fight. Aljamain Sterling and Calvin Kattar. I really like this fight. This will be a prelim, I'd imagine. I hope so anyway. Put this on a prelim. That's a really good fight. How do I think this one goes? You know, Sterling is moving up, so it's his first fight in featherweight, and he's definitely not going to go back down. Kattar's coming off, obviously, that injury to Arnold Allen a little over a year ago, last October. You know, when Sterling's coming off the knockout over O'Malley, but he was coming off an unreal streak, tied for most title defenses in bantamweight. So, look, Calvin Kattar, yeah, people could say he's a gatekeeper and whatnot, but his takedown defense is insane. It's insane. Featherweights are really good for takedown defense, to be fair. I'd say they're the best, best grapplers defense in the sport. Featherweight's got, there isn't one person in the top 5 where he's easy to take down. That's your route to victory. And that's Sterling's bread and butter. But I also don't think there's a grappler quite as good in featherweight as Sterling. This is a tough fight for Kattar to come straight back into. I won't lie. Off the top of my head, and as it stands now, I do think Sterling's going to win. I just think Kattar's gotten a bit older. Maybe the time off did him well because he was going through fucking wars like it was nothing. Max fight, Giga fight, Emmett fight, back to back to back. Yeah, okay, he took a bit of time off for the Max fight, took a year off. But, you know, he hasn't got a win now it'll be 2 years in January. Sterling was on that mad run. So, obviously, I thought he beat Emmett. I think most people did. He was getting pieced up by Arnold Allen. Let's say it how it is. That first round, he was getting worked. But Calvin never does his best work in the first round, so we can't really say too much. I'll go with Sterling. The fact that it is 3 rounds does benefit Kattar. I can't remember the last time Kattar had a 3-rounder, or Sterling for that matter. Both of them are 5-round fighters. So it's going to play a factor, I think, for both of them, because it's going to be a really high-paced fight from the beginning, I think, because they're both going to go after straight away, because they're both so used to 5 rounds. It'll be interesting to see Aljo at the weight. Aljo, his big thing for bantamweight is he had a big size advantage over a lot of them, I thought, and probably was a bit of a weight bully, considering he had to take 6 months off every time, or a year off, 6 months to a year off just to fight. So I'll go with Sterling by decision, probably a 29-28. But Kattar has a very good chance. At the very start, I thought, when I saw this fight announced, I was like, oh, Sterling's going to absolutely destroy him. You know, a year out, Kattar, you know, he wasn't really looking too good against Arnold. But then I remember, Kattar's a much better boxer than Sterling. And I think way better. I don't think this is competitive on the feet, to be honest with you. He does have hands, as regards power in his hands, Kattar, but I still don't think he'll be able to catch Aljo. I think Aljo will be fine, and I think he'll go for the decision. Yuri Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic. Probably the main card opener. I'm not saying that as a bad thing, but I think Rakic is fucking boring as fuck, to be quite honest with you. Yuri's obviously one of the most entertaining fighters in the game, but Rakic, I feel like he'll just fucking sit on him, and you know what I mean, sit on him and just ride out a comfortable decision, because Yuri can get taken down, and he can get clipped. You know, he got knocked down in his last fight. Glover was hurting him on the feet bad as well. So yeah, I'll probably go with a Rakic decision on this one, but it is a good fight. But you can't have boring fights on this card, and I feel like this could be a boring fight. Same with Sterling and Kattar. That could be a boring fight, and I think Bo Nickal just run through his opponent. So the 3 fights we have announced, probably a main card opener, probably the last fight in the prelims, and probably the first fight on the early prelims. I hope to fucking God anyway. Because it'd be a fucking disgrace if this was on the actual prelims. Stick up. I don't give a fuck how big Bo Nickal is, or he's a fucking... I don't care. He's fighting a nobody. He's going to destroy in the first round. So it'd be a good way to start the event as well. You know, get the crowd going, get the crowd in as well from the very start, because they're going to want to see him fight, I'd say. I will anyway. It worries me, because if we look at UFC 299 and how unbelievably stacked that card is, UFC 299, I have a little bit of a fear. I have a little bit of worry that UFC 299 is actually going to be more stacked than 300. Like, who did they have left as champs to headline this? If you look at, let's like 299, O'Malley Vera, Gilbert Burns, Jack Del Maddalena, Michael Page making his UFC debut. That would have been huge on 300. Kevin Holland, Curtis Bates, Jailton Almeida, RDA, Gamrot, Peter Yan, Song Yadong, Kyler Phillips, Pedro Munoz. Like, the card is insane. The card is insane. And some of them are going to be prelim fights. And I'm worried that they're stacking 298 at 299. And they're like, who's going to be... If McGregor... I feel like McGregor's the only one that could headline the card. If I see Zhang Weili versus Alexa Grasso as the co-main event, that is a super fight for the age. No one gives a fuck. Absolutely nobody cares. You know what I mean? That's a fight night main event. I want to see the best fights in the world, and that's not fucking one of them. If that was a pay-per-view, how much would that do? And you're putting it as co-main? Possibly? Who knows? I'm saying, if this is co-main at 300, I hope not. But I feel like they probably will, because it'll be like a super fight, 2 of the greatest female fighters in the world. You know, usual bollocks. But yeah, Pereira Hamzat. Sorry, Izzy Hamzat. Good fight. That's the kind of fights I want on this card. Brilliant fucking scrap that. I do think Chimaev probably wins. If you asked me when he knocked out Pereira if Izzy would win, I probably would have said Izzy. And then because Hamzat didn't look good against Usman at all after 5 minutes, which I have been saying for ages. But anyway, I'll probably go with Hamzat in this one. He'll probably take him down. Probably will be 5 rounds. Could be 3. You never know. I don't really see him giving Adesanya a 3-rounder. That just seems weird. Probably because he hasn't had one since fucking 2019. I think the last one he had was against Silva. I actually don't know. But yeah, that's a good fight. I want more fights like that on the card. But I saw Tom Aspinall and Alex Pereira. Pereira put like 3 plus 300 equals, or some shit, 30 plus 300 equals 3. And then Tom Aspinall put like the 2-1 with the press conference with the Santa hat and stuff. If this is the main event for UFC 300, I think the sport will be a disgrace. An absolute joke. Let me tell you why. It looks good on paper. You have the light heavyweight champ going for 3 champ status, never done before. You know, he's got this vicious KO power. Bro, it's not a competitive fight. Tom Aspinall will squish him. Absolutely squish him. Like, he could knock him out on the feet. This isn't... Bro made middleweight less than a year, this year. And you're expecting to fight Tom Aspinall? I don't know, man. I don't know. They can't. I don't think. I want to see John Jones versus Aspinall as the main event. If they do Stipe versus Jones as the main event, mate, that's just... You know what I mean? I just think they're overstacking the other cards. What I thought was actually going to happen is... I thought it was going to be Volk versus Islam 2. If Yair had beaten... Not Yair. if Oliveira had lost and Makhachev won, and then of course Volk beat Yair. I thought they were going to do that as the main event, and I would have been okay with that. To be honest with you, that would have been a fucking massive rematch. But no, Volk took it on like fucking an hour's notice. Kind of fucked it all up, and Islam wants to fight at 299 for Ramadan. I don't think that'll happen. I do think Islam will be on this card, and I do think Oliveira and Islam will be on this card. Or Oliveira or Gaethje instead. Gaethje and Makhachev. Don't think it's a main event. But I do think it's a serious co-main. And then you put McGregor Chandler as the main event. I'd be okay with that. I think all the fans would. I think all the fans would love that. Poirier Diaz as well. I wouldn't be saying no. 5-round Poirier versus Diaz, like, it's going to be a fucking scrap. So, you know, I would love that. I would love that now, in fairness. Have that as like a after or just before the title fights, you know, the last fight before the title fight, something like that. I think me and everyone would love that, but I feel UFC 300 is going to be a big letdown. I think UFC 300 is going to be... I think people look at 299 and be like, 299 was better. And it can't be. It cannot be. And you had Dana say, oh, you're going to be looking at the first prelim, and I'd be like, holy shit, that's the first prelim? If Bo Nickal's on this card against Cody Brundage, who nobody fucking knows and nobody cares about, then no one's going to be like, holy shit. Everyone's going to be like, holy shit, why the fuck is he fighting him? He's shit. That's a joke. That's the only reason. That's the only reason people are going to be like, holy shit. Not because how good of a fight it is, because how shit of a fight it is. And that's just the fucking truth. And that's what I think. Could see Leon on it, but, you know, he likes his year-long layoff. So, yeah, I think UFC 300 is going to be a disappointment. Let me know what you think in the comments.